But first, now that I think about it, I gotta check to make sure there's no other pre-existing files from the previous run. Songs for MP3, source files. Oh, there are. So what I basically do is just delete. Note the duration here. As the speed increases, the number in the front is the speed. Note that it keeps on increasing. And of course the duration decreases. The sample rate, pretty much the same, but the original waves aren't. You'll see that in the next little bits. These, since I don't need them, I delete them. I don't want them. They're temporary. WAV files, again, same system. But note that the sample rate keeps increasing. By changing the sample rate, you actually preserve the quality indefinitely. So in other words, if you keep changing the speed by using the sample rate, the quality will always remain the same. However, by modifying the wave, which is what the change speed function in Audacity does, rounding errors and things pile up, and of course the distortions start to kick in. That's why I modify the sample rate. Of course, these are temporary and I don't need them, so I throw them in the trash. Same thing here, except these are the higher quality versions. Okay, nothing in that. So, I'm now ready to go. All the warnings come from the fact I'm using deprecated things like string copy and stuff like that. This is what my program looks like when it's running. Doesn't look exciting, doesn't it? All it basically shows me is what the progress, the current sample rate is, how many has been processed, and the completion. Tells me what file I'm writing. This doesn't take long. Through doing something like this, I've worked out my hard drive's write speed to be about 55 megabytes per second. And here, now it's reading the high quality input file. That's the 16K base. Not the 60,000 there, as the first. That's where it comes from. And of course, this keeps on continuing. Note the extra 0 on the front, though, on the writing. That's to keep the speed order the same. I put the speed first, so it's the first thing I see in my MP3 player, so I put it there first. And with that now processed, you'll see a bunch of files here, and note that it stops at the 60K. Note the file size as well. Yep, for the 16, just to give you an idea. See, it's a little bit bigger. This is actually 3/2 as big. And for the next stage, I use my little bat file. I call it a bat file, but it's actually batch. I let this thing run for however long it takes to process. Then, once I get done with processing this, which can take quite a few minutes to do, I then copy all those MP3 files, as you saw in the to convert folder when I was there anyway. Then I put them into a special folder that contains all the MP3s. Then I copy that folder into my MP3 player, and I'm done. That's pretty much all there really is. Why all the different speeds and files anyway, you might be wondering? Well, the only way to change the speed on my MP3 player would be to change the track. And the script for the bat file anyway actually was provided not by me, but rather someone on the Winamp forums, of which I thank greatly for. In other words, credits go entirely to that user rather than me. The only thing I really did was just make adjustments to my settings. What format for MP3 do I use, you might be wondering? Well, I use ABR, and in this case the 12K HD sample rate has 16 kbps bit rate. You might be wondering, 16? That's got to be terrible quality. It's actually not. I look at things from a mathematical view, and as it appears to me anyway, if you think of CD quality, 44.1, stereo and 16-bit, it can't change the bit rate, so it's going to be 16-bit no matter what. Although I still actually have 8-bit WAV files, they get converted. By cutting the sample rate down to 11.025, which is another standard, you only need 1/4 the data. And instead of using stereo, I use mono, which means another half, so 1/8. So in other words, technically, you can safely go with 1/16 the quality. Or 1/8, I mean. Mine drifted off. So in my case, I'm going with a 12, and ABR, which in this case happens to be about 2/3 that of CD anyway, at least what I'm getting. That's how I base off everything. I let this thing run until it's completed. I'll let this run in time-lapse mode, just to give you an idea. Never mind that. Thank you for watching. This video was created by Ulillillia. Thank you for watching.